They say that when you assume, you make an ass out of you and me. Oh wait, I suppose assume, I just got that. But when a game presents us with a totally silent or unknowable villain, we have to assume that they are evil incarnate without ever hearing their side of the story. I mean, sure, this chap looks pretty sinister, but how do we know we're definitely the good guys if we don't at least let them have a bad guy monologue? Spare a thought for these villains who are probably up to no good, but we'll never know for certain because we exploded them before they got a chance to make their case. Beware mild spoilers for the following.
Link, be on your guard. Ganon's power grows.
You'd think Link, of all people, would sympathise with strong, silent types. And yet, there's not much sympathy put aside for Calamity Ganon, the villain in Zelda Breath of the Wild, who really over-delivers when it comes to being both silent and strong. In Breath of the Wild, Princess Zelda tells Link that Hyrule faces total devastation at the point at which Ganon regains his true power.
When the beast regains its true power, this world will face its end.
Well, how exactly you step up in power from a castle-sized flying hell snake, we're not sure. Maybe like a baseball bat? We'll never know Calamity Ganon's evil plan though, because in the entire game, he never gets a single line of dialogue. How Zelda's put it all together, we're not sure either. She certainly hasn't learned it from the citizens of Hyrule, who seem more concerned with growing pumpkins and snowball bowling than they are with, say, loading up on tinned food and heading for the hills. Furthermore, Calamity Ganon's eerie silence is totally at odds with his previous incarnations, who were real chatty Cathys when it came to sharing their plans for turning Hyrule into cell-shaded rubble. We're not saying Calamity Ganon isn't evil incarnate, just that it would have been polite for Link to check. But hey, I guess you don't get the Triforce of Courage by asking a load of questions. You get the Triforce of Caution, which is a square. Because it's lame.
With many people, if they don't say what they're thinking out loud, you get a general idea from their facial expression. Not, however, with Slender Man. This long-limbed, besuited business monster has zero facial features. Instead, he's got a face as blank as a fresh sheet of paper as he wordlessly teleports closer and closer. This internet-born creepster has less facial expression than a freshly Botoxed mannequin, silently looming over his victims. And he's said to steal children in a classic supernatural child snatcher way. See, this is why I don't trust tall people.
Hey!
I mean, it's hard to imagine a good reason for Slendy to be chasing people through the woods, but what if these sinister squiggles are self-portraits by him, and he just wants some honest creative feedback? Well, Slendy, your perspective is spot on, and your line work is really coming along. One note I would say is that it's deeply terrifying. Or what if it's fan art and Slendy likes having it around him and he's just upset that you're taking it all? What if the real way to beat him is to just create more art for him? Here, Slendy, I made you this picture. Please don't abduct me, for despite my small stature, I'm actually an adult. Please don't.
Some bad guys you can just tell are up to no good, and some are giant Mickey Mouse gloves. Master Hand, recurring villain of the Smash Brothers series, falls into the latter camp. This enormous wiggling hand typically shows up for a fight at the end of a single-player campaign for reasons known only to Nintendo, and quite possibly not even to them, often with his cackling brother, Crazy Hand, in tow. Master Hand's creepy laugh proves he's capable of audible sound, but as the punching starts almost immediately after he shows up, at no point does he get the opportunity to explain what his whole deal is. Which is a shame, because just what is your whole deal? The plot thickens when it transpires in Smash Bros. Brawl that Master Hand appears to be, at one point, a puppet slave for this big blue alien, I guess? Seriously, if anyone wants to speak up and explain what's going on here, please feel free. And a lack of explanation gets even more maddening when you read his official description, which says he's the source of creation in the Smash Bros. Universe. I don't know about you, fighters of Smash Bros., but were I to meet the creator of my universe, can I take you in a fight wouldn't be top of my list of questions. It'd be, what's up with squids? Squids are weird.
Ridley is a skeletal pterosaur and high-ranking space pirate, which is objectively the coolest combination of things a living organism can aspire to be. But don't try telling that to Samus Aran of Metroid fame. The mech-suited protagonist of this long-running series has been battling Ridley for over 2 decades now, without having exchanged 2 words with her leathery winged foe, unless you count incoherent roaring. Why have Samus and Ridley never spoken? Maybe because sound doesn't travel in space, or Samus doesn't speak space pirates? Or maybe they left it too long and now it would just be awkward, you know? Like how I've never actually spoken to Mike. Whatever the reason, it's a shame that Ridley has never had a chance to say his piece, especially as I'd imagine a high-ranking space pirate would have some pretty sweet tales to tell, or at least a rad space shanty once you get a few drinks in him. So long as Samus keeps dissolving Ridley with arm cannons and missiles though, we'll never get the truth behind this taciturn space pirate's motives, which, for all Samus knows, may be quite reasonable, not that she's prepared to ask. Maybe wages in the Space Navy were unfairly low, forcing otherwise honest pterosaurs into privateering. Did you ever think of that, Samus?
Some enemies choose not to speak, whereas others simply can't. Take the Xenomorph for example, which can't tell you what it's all about, even though it has another mouth inside its mouth. Yeah, that's the one. But imagine if the alien could speak English to poor Amanda Ripley, or if poor Amanda Ripley had a basic grasp of Xenomorphish, and all the things we might learn and come to understand about this terrifying, but who knows, maybe perfectly reasonable, chest-bursting nightmare monster. Yeah, I mean, do go on, she would say. See, we might never be friends with this acid blood-having predator, and our instinctive human reaction to its weird head and slavery fangs might be to scream the house down, yes. If it just had the words though, and we could stop screaming long enough, maybe it could calmly explain about how our ship had drifted into Xenomorph space, that by Xenomorph law the ship and its contents now belong to the United Kingdom of Xenomorphia, and that it, the Xenomorph, would require our human carcass for incubating its young as an essential part of its natural life cycle. For instance, that's just one scenario in which the alien would have a point. Not one we'd like or agree with, but I can see where you're coming from, alien. And speaking of points we don't like...
Jill!
Brad!
We've got to... Jill! Help!
It is hard to express your evil plan when your vocabulary is limited to just one word. Yet that's the challenge facing Nemesis. This grotesque zombie super soldier relentlessly pursues ex-special tactics and rescue service member Jill Valentine and her pals in Resident Evil 3, like a Terminator that's been left out in the sun. Nemesis definitely appears smarter than your run-of-the-mill zombies, and yet, when given the chance to explain why it's out for blood, this hunk of mutated flesh can only fit in one word. So, stars like star-crossed lovers? All of us are in the gutter, but some of us are looking at the stars? Stars spreading the news? Help me out here, Nemesis. Frankly, all of those are good guesses, because every time Nemesis pops up, someone uses some heavy weaponry to knock it down again, before it can so much as clear its throat to say hello. Indeed, it's only via other sources that we find out that Nemesis was created by the evil Umbrella Corporation specifically to hunt down STAR's agents, though obviously you never hear that from the monosyllabic monster itself.
He's coming for us. We're both gonna die.
What are you saying?
You'll see. He's after STAR's members. There's no escape.
I mean, you assume there's no escape. Maybe he's just trying to tell you his favourite song from the Les Mis soundtrack. Stars. Could be.
You want stars? I'll give you stars.
So those are some of the bad guys in video games who we are pretty sure were evil, but cannot be completely sure because they never spoke or we never really talked to them or exchanged any meaningful communication. But you and I have exchanged meaningful communication, and you can trust me because I have the Triforce of Caution, which has changed to Magic Marker now, which is very sad. I must not have believed enough. But if you believe enough, then why not check out these videos and earn the Triforce of YouTube viewership, which is the most powerful Triforce of all. This video is excellent. This was the Triforce video part 1, Triforce video part 2, and if you want to collect the whole set, then also collect this, subscribe or give that a click and become the legendary hero of Destiny that you were always born to be.